You ever have days when you just feel like you're not, really present, like your heart's racing, your brain's foggy, and basic stuff seems monumental?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've definitely been there. That whole feeling when it's like your nervous system is screaming out in survival mode.
Exactly. When you're stuck in that fight, flight, or freeze mode, it can turn the simplest task into like an epic wrestling match with yourself.
Totally, right? It's like you're trying to do something and your brain just decides it's time to overreact.
Yeah, and one of the quirkiest things I noticed is how I'd answer a text in my head, fully convinced I'd sent it, only to realize later that I never actually hit
Yep.
send. It's like my mind's playing telepathy tricks on me.
Oh, that's so relatable. I mean, it's like you think you've communicated and then days pass by and you're just wondering why nothing happened.
Right, and then there's that moment when you're doing something so mundane, like, say, folding laundry, and then suddenly you're having this full-blown internal debate with yourself.
Mm.
Who knew laundry could spark a mini emotional battleground?
Haha. Yeah. It's crazy how even repetitive tasks act like triggers. Doesn't it feel like your emotions are just piling on, one sock at a time, until the whole routine turns into a therapy session?
Absolutely, it's like, you're just trying to stay afloat, and then everything becomes this magnified conflict. And a lot of this is about how our mind misreads situations, like taking everything so personally, even things that, frankly, have zero to do with us.
Right, exactly. That hypersensitivity almost makes you feel like each comment or action is a personal dig, even when it really isn't.
Yeah, it's like the world becomes this mirror showing all your insecurities, sometimes based on nothing more than, a misplaced word or a delayed reply.
Like getting into a fight over a misplaced sock because deep down, you're already overwhelmed.
Exactly. And then, oh man, there's the classic, spending hours trying to decide on a movie and then literally nodding off 10 minutes into it. It's like your brain is so exhausted by the indecision that, well, sleep wins.
Yeah, that indecision just snowballs into sheer fatigue. It's almost as if the mental energy required for such a trivial choice is, completely overwhelming.
Right, and you know what's funny? When you try to self-soothe, or, indulge in some self-care, it sometimes feels more like you're putting on a mask of calm while secretly panicking inside. I mean,
Yep.
a bubble bath might be supposed to be relaxing, but your brain is too busy playing the greatest hits of anxiety on loop.
That's spot on. It's like, no matter how much you try to calm down, that inner storm just doesn't care if you're in a face mask or not.
Exactly, it's almost paradoxical. We attempt to fix ourselves with these rituals, but the pressure to be relaxed just adds to the, overwhelm.
True, and speaking of pressure, how about that people-pleasing instinct? It's like you end up saying yes to everything, even when every fiber of you wants to say no.
Yeah, and it feels so draining, like you're constantly putting someone else's needs before your own just to avoid conflict. It's like a never-ending
Exactly.
cycle of trying to keep everyone happy while losing sight of what you actually want.
Definitely a classic symptom of being overwhelmed, and it also ties back to how social media can paradoxically make us feel more alone. You'd scroll for a bit looking for connection, and then boom, you're more anxious and isolated.
Yeah, it's like you go in for a quick check and then hours slip by. Every like feels validating for a minute, but eventually it's just, feeling more disconnected.
Absolutely. It's like a temporary band-aid on a much deeper disconnect.
And then there's that meditative attempt that doubles as a planning session. You try to quiet your mind, and next thing you know, you're figuring out your entire week or making grocery lists
Yeah.
in your head. It's like the brain insists on multitasking even when you're trying to relax.
Ha. Right. Meditation should be about being present, not planning every little detail of your future.
Totally. And sometimes in that state, you even over-explain yourself in conversations because you're scared to be misunderstood. You end up repeating everything to make sure you're, truly seen.
I've seen that happen a lot. It turns a brief chat into a marathon of justifications.
Exactly. You just keep going, as if piling on words will somehow shield you from vulnerability. And yet that often just creates more distance between you and the person you're talking to.
For sure, it can almost seem like the more you talk, the less the message actually gets through.
Yeah. And speaking of distance, isn't it ironic how when we most need connection, our instinct is to pull away? It's like our nervous system tells us to isolate to protect ourselves, even though that only intensifies the loneliness.
That is a real catch-22. The very mechanism meant to shield us ends up deepening the disconnect.
Exactly. And then there's the impulsivity factor, like deciding to redecorate your living room at 2 a.m. or even contemplating a DIY haircut. You know, a quick fix to regain control, even if it's totally temporary.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Right. And sometimes those impulsive decisions are more about trying to distract ourselves rather than addressing the underlying overwhelm.
Absolutely. And even the smallest triggers, like someone not replying immediately, can send us spiraling into, thinking we've been abandoned. It's wild how our minds amplify these tinier issues into full-scale crises.
I mean, really, it's almost like a built-in alarm system that, when dysregulated, goes off at the faintest hint of disconnection.
Exactly. And while all these behaviors might seem irrational in hindsight, they're really just our nervous system's way of coping, trying every trick in the book to regain some semblance of balance.
Definitely. Now, I'm with you on this. But don't you think sometimes labeling these actions as just coping might oversimplify what's going on? I mean, sometimes it feels like a sign that we need to dig even deeper into our emotional triggers.
That's a fair point. I mean, while on one hand it's about acknowledging that these actions are signals from our body, on the other they really suggest that we might need, more comprehensive care, like grounding exercises or even genuine conversations about what we're feeling.
Yep, exactly. And it's about balancing self-awareness with self-compassion. You know, being kind not just to our bodies, but also acknowledging that these moments of dysregulation are part of our human experience.
Absolutely. And engaging in methods like heart share circles or genuine support groups can be a game changer. It helps us validate our feelings instead of pushing them away.
That's so true. For sure. Embracing those moments of vulnerability, acknowledging them, and then using grounding techniques can truly help bring the nervous system back to a more regulated state.
Exactly. Whether it's through talking with someone, journaling, or even just giving yourself the permission to feel, each step is about reconnecting with yourself. And it's a reminder that you're not alone in this battle, even on the days everything feels off.
Right. It's definitely a shared journey. And honestly, sometimes confronting these patterns with a little humor or a lighthearted perspective, even a tiny joke about a misplaced sock, can make it all feel a bit more manageable.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if we can learn to laugh at our inner chaos, even if it's just a small chuckle, that can be the first step to genuine self-compassion and, real healing.
Well said. It's all about owning those moments and understanding their signals, not failures.
Yep, and that's what makes this journey so rich, even the messy parts. Embracing our dysregulated moments is kind of like acknowledging that, life isn't perfect, but it's perfectly human.
Absolutely. And by being mindful of these patterns, we can better navigate our emotions and ultimately discover more calm amidst the chaos.
Exactly. So here's to understanding our nervous system, eliminating judgment and finding small ways to reconnect with our true selves every single day.
Right on. Cheers to that. Thanks for diving deep into these complex yet so relatable experiences with me today.
Always a pleasure chatting about these real-life moments. Until next time, keep your heart open and your self-care honest.